While we're at putting layers in, why don't we place more layers? Okay, remember I said that if I make a new layer while one layer is highlighted, it's going to copy all the properties of that previous layer. So if I make a layer out of this, it's going to take all of this stuff and put it on to that next new layer that I made. Okay, so if I don't want to do that, let me delete that layer. Delete it by just going to that stack of paper looking thing with the X on it, and that'll delete the layer that you are highlighting. So I'm going to place my cursor or highlight the layer 0, since I like to keep these properties on here, and then make a new layer. I'll rename the layer as, well, wait, let's say I forgot to rename the layer and click somewhere else. The name of the layer will now be layer 1. Next one will be layer 2, layer 3, layer 4. Kind of like same thing as Rhino. If I do just want to rename it, just double or click into that area and it will highlight. And let's name that layer AR-wall. Okay. We'll click on a new layer again, and then rename that AR glass. And then maybe AR, whoops, AR hyphen door. And we'll start off with that for now. If you close this up, or, well, basically everything will show up as a numerical and alphabetical order. Okay, so just keep that in mind. So let's change some of these properties here. AR wall, we'll turn that into the green color, green number 3. Okay, and say OK. For our glass, let's just, for the heck of it, show the cyan, because that kind of looks like glass anyway. And OK. And AR door, I'll show it as red. Okay. There's no real rhyme or reason of why I did these colors. I selected those colors, except that it is in the first 7 color of that AutoCAD palette. There is a standard naming of layers that the AIA puts out, but we won't use that. And a lot of offices have adopted it. And it's kind of similar. The A stands for architectural. I just put AR so that I could relate that to anything related to architecture. If it's a L, it might be for landscape. If it's a C, it might be for civil, and everything, all the subcategory that goes along with that. M might stand for mechanical, P might stand for plumbing. So you could stack all those like layers together. Okay, and the line type and line weights, the AIA does put out a standard setting for all those, but we'll create our own for this class. Okay, so set these up, and we will put in more layers as we work on this drawing. But for now, we can kind of close this off or minimize the property manager. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this. This manager does get in the way sometimes. If I just put it close to the edge, it is going to dock itself in there. If I want to take it out, we have to pull this thing out again. If I do want to put it as close to the edge as possible, if I hit the control button, that should prevent it from actually docking, which might, for some of you, help out. For me, it does help out because I don't really want it to dock. I don't want it to be there forever, because sometimes I want to turn this whole thing off. But have it as close to the edge as possible. Okay, so you can control this Properties Manager by, and any one of these pull out by hitting the Control button and move it to exactly where you want to, unless you want it docked into these space. Okay. I can, whatever layer that I'm on, like the AR wall layer, that will be if I just click on that name, that will be the current layer that I will be drawing in. Okay. Since I have my drawings on here already, all I really have to do is to change the layers. We will work on drawing within these drawings so that we'll have to place it on a particular layer. But for now, let's go ahead and proceed to go to Model Space and to the floor plan and select the items that looks like it's glass and hit the glass. Okay, select the item that is, let's say, the wall, and turn it into the wall layer. Okay. Notice that I did not click on these part right here, right? This white line remained the white line. It's still on layer 0. This portion right here is a cut in the second floor plan. So that should be the solid line. This right here shows the glass that we placed and the sill that you see beneath it. So if you're looking at that clear story window right there, if you put the floor plan line or cut plane line right at the middle of the glass, you'll see the top of the wall, right? So this will represent the top of the wall, so we'll have to make another layer that represents the top of the wall. So we might say AR sill or something like that. Okay? But for now, we want to place the glass on the glass layer and our walls on the wall layer. Where there is a door, which is on the first floor, right here, we'll put that onto the door. Okay. So for the floor plans, if you can, please place each of the items in its own proper layer. As such. Okay. There's one little trick. If you had placed one item on a layer, you can go to Properties, and in the Properties you should have, well, yours should have all these exposed already, opened up already. Right here where it says Match Properties, if you click on that, it'll say Select Object Source. So if I click on this layer right here, or this object right here, it is the wall layers, right? So if I click on anything else that I want on that layer, I can go ahead and select all those items and take care of all of that stuff at once. Okay, just like the glass, if I go to Properties, Match Property, hit the glass, and then hit the stuff that I want on the glass layer, it should be a fairly quick task to get through all of these objects. Okay, so if you continue doing that for the 2 floor plans that we have.